We've only tried the 50 TDI thus far. There'll be an RS at some point in the future, as well as the other models, and it's a rapid, comfy cruiser with a surprising ability to go around corners. Even on the 22-inch wheels. It's not an exciting car to drive, but it disguises its size brilliantly, and has a decent stretch of dynamic change from the 7 different, selectable, modes. Comfort really is leggier and softer, dynamic noticeably firmer and more responsive with a 40mm drop. This sounds obvious, but it isn't always the case. There's also an off-road mode, which raises the suspension 50mm from the comfort, standard position in case you need to potter down a track. As ever, the all-wheel drive is clever and subtle, with torque vectoring on the rear axle, and a torque split that can shove up to 70% to the front or 85% to the rear, depending on conditions. The steering isn't the last word in communication, but this is a big car that you don't wince trying to thread down a back lane. It goes where you put it with the minimum of fuss. Feels lighter than it is and can 3-point turn with the best of them. For which we thank the 4-wheel steering option. It's wide, over 2 meters with the mirrors, and has some fairly hefty blind spots, but there's a suite of systems, that you get used to quickly, to deal with the issues. Overall, it's a doing car rather than something you'd choose to take out for the hell of it, but the general feeling is that Audi has got the air ride nicely sorted in this one. You really can cruise efficiently and well, and it demands very little in the way of concern, even though it's a big old thing. The engine is effective. 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds is very respectable, although it sounds light in operation and isn't characterful in any way. We suspect the lower-powered TDI might feel a little bit underpowered and that a lot more bhp might unlock a bit more of the chassis talent and cause those big tires to work a little harder. It all hangs together very nicely in this 50 TDI, mind you. You were probably expecting this, but the Q8's interior is lovely. Okay, so the quilted gray leather in our test car is a bit like driving around in a posh pensioner's house shoe, but the triple widescreened, high-def, slick graphics dash stuff is worth showing off about. It's clever and useful and there's been a lot of thought put into it, even down to the clicky haptic feedback on the touchscreens. It's a little intimidating at first, but you soon get used to divvying up the functions and relegating the stuff that you don't use as much. The seats are excellent front and rear, there's acres of space in the back and a decent boot, ultimate volume slimmed slightly by the Beetle back, that is not hugely brilliant for dog owners. The rear seats split, too, so there's every possibility that you can actually make use of the space to do practical things. Yes, a blocky Q7 is bigger, and has 7 seats, but you don't buy a Q8 for that, it's just more practical and useful than you might think on first appraisal.